Sorry. Good. Hi, Creighton, Samson Froling on our left, Davion Mintz on our right. Let's start with a statement from head coach Greg McDermott.
Well, we got the win. That's the important thing. Games right before the guys go home for Christmas are always difficult. You can imagine their anticipation, their excitement. A lot of these guys haven't seen family or friends for a while. So these games can be difficult to play. I love the way we moved the ball. I thought we made the extra pass. Obviously, we shot it better, which was good to see. But defensively, we set out to try to take away the three-point shot, and we didn't do a very good job of that. So that was disappointing, and obviously we'll focus on that when we get back to the practice floor.
Questions for the student athletes?
I guess for both guys, just watching the bad taste away from Oklahoma, hitting a couple shots tonight after not shooting it very well in Norman. How good did it feel just to see some go in tonight, I guess?
It definitely felt good, especially being off a road, coming back home and being able to hit shots. And, yeah, like you said, see some go in because it was tough for us. But, I mean, it's a good spark and good thing to see right before conference play.
Yeah, I mean, felt good, but I feel like as soon as that game was over, for me, as soon as games finish, I kind of try and forget what's going on, like what happened, like learn from it, but move on. Don't worry about it. Just take each game as it comes.
You came right in and knocked down a three. Saw you spending some extra time for practice yesterday. Have you changed anything in your mechanics in your jump shot at all? And did it, I guess, feel good to see it translate into a game situation?
Yeah, we've been working on keeping both my hands high. It kind of twists my body when I don't. So it feels good it always feels good when you make a shot.
Sure.
Samson, I mean, you came here for a reason, but the ability to Mac likes his big men to shoot it, so to be able to step out and hit a jumper every now and then.
He likes him to make them. He doesn't like him to shoot him.
Oh, but you let him shoot it.
Yeah.
Yeah, just like the system, playing in the system. How much does it fit what you want to do?
It fits really well. I like to play inside out. I like to be able to shoot it, and I've seen Jacob and Tini do that. That's kind of why I decided to come here, so I could emulate what they sort of did, and hopefully I'm doing that.
Davion Mack mentioned you guys wanted to take away the three ball tonight. Probably not going to like the result of that. I guess what do you think about the troubles you guys had tonight in defending the perimeter and maybe some things you think need to get cleaned up before conference play starts in that area?
Just ball pressure, just closing out and making sure you take away the shot and the drive. I mean, that's things we work on daily in practice, the beginning, and, I mean, pretty much throughout the practice. So kind of what Coach was saying was, I mean, basically in, a week and 2 weeks, the guys that we're going to be playing are going to be guys that, can shoot that and make that consistently. So playing this team was a good thing to see because it gives us the sight that, I mean, guys can make shots and we have to do a better job with, closing out and keeping guys off the line. And, I mean, we didn't do the best job of that, but that team is a team that, excels in shooting threes. So, I mean, we can't pray that they miss them. We just got to do it.
Davion, how much more pride are you trying to take defensively? What's your mentality on that side of the floor? Has it changed as the season has progressed a little bit for you?
Yeah, I mean, I'm trying to get that label as a defender, and for me, I'm just trying to do whatever it takes to, get my teammates to know that they can rely on me defensively and I'll be there, and for the other team to know that your best player is going to get shut down that game. That's the type of pride that I'm taking on defensively for this team, and for me, I'm just trying to keep excelling every game with that.
When did you decide to adopt that mentality? Because, I mean, earlier in your career, you probably struggled defensively, and it looks like you're making strides in that area. When did you start to, I guess, in your mind, start checking off all the things that you think goes with being a stopper?
After I got begged enough. But, I mean, just when I realized that that's what we need to win, and a true competitor, I mean, you're going to do, if he asked me to rebound, that's what I'm going to do, but that's what the team needed. So at that point, I realized that we got to do to win.
And you did some stuff this summer, I think, right, to sort of improve that side of your game. Like, a lot of it is a mentality. I remember Taz would always talk about it as being an attitude, but there's things I'd imagine too, just from a technique standpoint. Like, what kinds of things did you work on to try to become a better defender?
I mean, nothing special, just the fundamentals. I mean, just, lateral quickness, just being, it's all pride. I mean, just knowing that you can't let that guy get around you. Of course, you got to be athletic, strong, whatever, but
Yeah.
I mean, it's all just knowing that you can't let this guy get past you and sit down and take pride.
Two more for the student athletes.
Davion, how much do you think, just from your perspective, this team has learned? I mean, it seems like we kind of talked about going into the season that it was going to be a growing process for this group, and you're 10, 11 games in now. How much growth have you seen from this group during the last few weeks?
I've seen some growth. I mean, you've seen guys like Christian, Sam be able to get some more minutes. I mean, and that's the type of growth I look at. I mean, and even defensively, we are starting to pressure. I mean, we're not where we want to be completely, but I can see strides in it. We're trying to shoot the ball a little bit better, but right now, I mean, we're just focusing on the little things. We got to rebound better, and, I mean, of course, we want to see growth on the free throw line and making shots, but, I mean, it's there and it's coming, and I think the test for us will really be the start of this conference play, so I got more to see.
Catch your sister in one category, 1,000 points or 1,000 rebounds, which do you prefer?
If I could what?
You can catch your sister in one category, points or rebounds, which do you prefer?
Looks.
I got the hair. I want to say points, but I think Mac would like me to say rebounds.
Hey, Sense, I just kind of that growth question. Do you feel like, how much more comfortable do you feel after 10 to 11 games? I got to imagine that there's a difference in terms of the way you see the court and the way you approach this thing.
I mean, I think it's taken a lot more adapting than I thought it would from the game that I'm used to playing. Like, it's a lot more running. So I'm huffing and puffing, and then I got to see the floor as well. But just from that standpoint, I think I'm starting to get in my groove now. Hopefully it continues through till the end of the year.
Thanks, gentlemen.
Yes.
Questions for Coach?
Yeah, shooting the extra threes on Wednesday, or actually, you know what? When you watched the film, did you think you got some good shots?
Yeah. I went back and watched the 10 3-pointers Mitch shot against Nebraska that he made 7 of, and then watched the 9 that he got against Oklahoma, and I'm not sure that the 9 against Oklahoma were better shots than the 10 that he got at Nebraska. So, as I explained to Mitch, because he was disappointed, making 12 out of 17 your last 2 games leading up to Oklahoma, that's rare as well, and just about as rare as going 0 for 9. So over the last 3 games, you were 12 of 26, which is it's pretty good 3-point shooting. So with shooters, it all kind of evens out at the end, and I think he's a mid 40% 3-point shooter, and I think at the end of the day, that's where he'll be. But they were probably good enough shots that shots that he normally makes.
On the other end of it, I guess, Davion talked about the things that try to take away when you're approaching, I guess, a guy at the line. You got to be able to take away the space, but also not let them blow by you and give so much that they can blow by you that easily. I guess how difficult is it for a player to contest and make the space uncomfortable to shoot, but also not compromise themselves to get driven away?
It's not easy when we're not exceptionally long. So your positioning becomes that much more critical. And I still think we have some guys that are still young enough that there's still some thinking going on. And when you're thinking, you're not going to be to the spot as quick as you need to be to the spot. And I think Mitch and Tyshawn are still guilty of that at times. There are times they do it fine, and there's times they're just a half a count slow because they're thinking about what they should do instead of anticipating and then reacting. So we have to get better at it. I was disappointed that they got off so many threes. I mean, that's what they do. Obviously, they played fearless and just let it fly tonight as well. And the starters probably had more problems than the bench tonight defensively, and those guys played some big minutes and were pretty beat up yesterday in practice in terms of how their body felt. So I think the turnaround was probably difficult for them because we really rode them hard at Oklahoma on Tuesday.
Yeah. How much is Gardner left making in terms of the strides he's making on that end of the floor, the mentality?
When we watch film of the Oklahoma game, we pointed it out several times. Just his engagement defensively, his defensive stance, his being disruptive on the basketball, and a pass that maybe could have taken place didn't take place because of his trace of the basketball and how that helps a teammate. He's buying into it. It's not who he is and who he was. He scored a ton of points in high school, and obviously he can score points. But we needed somebody to do it. And as we kept moving along and trying different guys in different situations, we kind of feel like it's him. And we may have to play him at the 2 some and play him with Marcus to keep him on the floor defensively. But he's doing good things, and he's buying into that, and hopefully some of his teammates will follow his lead.
You mentioned just guys maybe playing, maybe thinking that maybe there's a little hesitation. What does it take to sort of get over that? Is that more? Is it just reps?
It's time. Yeah, it's experience. Just being in the, being out in the arena and playing with the lights on. You try to rep it as much as you can in practice, and obviously that helps prepare you for games. But you also need game reps at game speed against somebody else. And it just happens over the time. That's why you senior-laden teams have a tendency to execute a lot better than teams that are made up of freshmen and sophomores. It's just the reality of the college game. So we're getting better, and we're moving the right direction. We just got to keep working.
With a group this young, I don't know if you've had it. Well, at least with the guys that you've played that are playing, and the majority of the minutes, it's a really young group. Have you maybe adapted your teaching style at all with these guys a little bit? Or?
You have to tap the brakes a little. You can't maybe go as fast. You want to get from point A to B to C to D to E, as quickly as you can, but you can't move to B until you've got A where you want it to be. And we've really had to back up fundamentally defensively, and you've been at practice, so you see what I'm talking about. I mean, we're spending 20, 25 minutes a day on some pretty basic defensive principles just to try to get it ingrained into their head, how important positioning and movement and vision is. So it's a young team, but it's more inexperienced than it is young, because even some of our older guys, Connor's new to our program, Caleb hasn't played much and he's a senior. Martine and Davion are really the only 2 that have played substantial minutes for our team, and we're asking a lot out of those 2.
2 more.
Do you have an update at all on Jacob?
No. I think he's going to see a doctor tomorrow, and we'll kind of go from there. But it's kind of a wait and see. Merry Christmas.
Merry Christmas.